Hey everybody, welcome back to Beginner's Mind, Art Mind. I'm Linda and I can't believe another week has flown by and that it's time for me to post another video again. So last week I had promised you a part 2 on the art journal tour, sketchbook tour that I had posted. It's going to end up being a part 2 and a part 3 because I videoed both of these and it was really long. It was like an hour to do both the talking flip through and the quiet flip through to music for both of them. So I'm going to split it in half. This is the longer one, but this is the more of a process journal. I'm going to save this one and I'm going to post my Strada Easel challenge one. That's the one with the golden open painted ones that I did, paintings that I did for like the Strada Easel challenge. And I'll talk to you more about that in the video. But most of these were done with the golden open acrylics. And some of them were done with gouache, but this is something different. I don't think I've shared that many of my paintings on my YouTube channel. I used to use golden open acrylics a lot, and I do actually plan to go back to these soon. So that's what this one is going to be, and there'll be a part 3. I'm not sure I'm going to actually label them part 2 and part 3, but there'll be a third one that will include this process sketchbook. So you'll have that to look forward to. So like I did in the last one, this one will have the one where the flip through where I talk my way through the journal and tell you about what I used and a little bit about the paintings. And the second part of the video will be just the quiet flip through to music. And then next week, if all goes well, next week's video is an unboxing video, an exciting unboxing video. And I did a bunch, I've done some plein air paintings and some studio paintings of dandelions. And some of these are using the paints, the new paints that I got in this unboxing that's coming up next week. So I have a really exciting video for you next week too. And then that's broken up into the unboxing and some swatching, but then there were so many items that the swatching will take a couple of videos. So that's going to be fun because you'll see some artwork that I did with these different things that I'm getting. But as for today, let's move on to the flip through. I hope you enjoy it. If you do enjoy it, please do me a favor and give it a thumbs up. And if you'd like to see more of my videos, please subscribe. Your likes and subscribes do matter. They do help my channel get seen by more people. So let's get flipping. Okay, so this is 2021 through 2022. This was a plein air sketch in the late fall, I believe. This was pastel? Yeah, I guess pastel painting of that. Might have been Neocolor. This might have been Neocolor crayons. Yeah, it doesn't feel as thick as pastel. And so this was a progression. As you can see, this was a charcoal sketch trying to figure out values and shapes. Then I did this sort of Neocolor water-soluble crayons. And then I did the gouache painting. And I really do love this painting. It's a spot on our property that I am very fond of. Like it very much. But if I hadn't done all that prep work, I'm not sure I would have gotten my values right because it's a very dark scene. Another gouache painting of a little cabin in our area that I've always thought was so sweet and beautiful, and it's such a pretty little setting. This was done 11/28/21. This one actually was not done plein air. This was done from a photograph that I had taken at a different time. This is a study of a Nell Blaine painting, and I find her work so challenging to replicate because her colors are so vibrant. Her shadows are just incredible. But her paintings can get really confusing when you're trying to follow them. But I love the way this painting came out. This is another Nell Blaine master study. This was a little, my husband and I went up to a lake in Ludlow. I think it's called Londonderry Lake. And they have all these old abandoned cabins up there. And I just fell in love with that place. So this was painting one of the cabins. The fall leaves were falling around, spread out. It was beautiful, really beautiful. And this also was not plein air. This was done from photographs. This is another Nell Blaine study. And there's something really funny about this painting that when I disclosed it to people on my social media sites, they told me not to fix it. And I wonder if you will see what it is before I mention it. You could even pause the video and see if you can find the very funny mistake that I made. And what it is if you see how these rails go, supports go on the deck railing, and you look how I made the X in the shadow, just totally not paying attention, made this the wrong reflection of that shadow. This was just an imaginary landscape that I did. These are all gouache, I think. Yeah, I think everything I've showed you so far is gouache. This is just another imaginary landscape. Now, these are moving into the Strada challenge, so these are going to be golden open acrylics, which I haven't worked with in a while and I really love. I think this January Strada Easel challenge was the last time I worked with these, but these are really wonderful paints to work with, especially if you can't work with oils. If you have problems with the smell, there's a lot of people out there that it's not the terps, it's not the Gamsol, it's the actual oil in the paint that bothers them. And the golden open acrylic is a really nice alternative. And this was another Strada Easel challenge. I forget if I mentioned what the Strada Easel challenge in the beginning of this is, but it's a daily challenge that's run twice a year by the Strada Easel people. And for 30 days in September and January, you do a daily painting with like hundreds of people. There's a lot of people that do it. I guess it might even be thousands of people that do it. But and they all post on Facebook and Instagram with the hashtag Strada Easel, and it's really a fun community. Everybody really supports each other, and it's just a lot of fun, and it always grows you. I find it very tiring. I don't even actually know if I'll do another one because I find I get very tired when I do them. I've done quite a few of them, but I might, the last year might have been my last year doing it. This is Toshi, Nico's brother, sitting by the fire getting warm. This is a good tip. I was having trouble with this sketch. I had it all sketched out and something was off. And no matter how hard I tried, I could not figure out what was off with this sketch. So I took a print of the photo, made it the same size as my painting was, and I sketched the photo onto tracing paper. And then I held the tracing paper with just the contour drawing over my drawing, and I could see where I was making mistakes. And I had to do that quite a bit with this to get, there's so many different angles in this painting that it helped me get my angles straight. And then you can keep taking that paper and laying it, that tissue paper, and laying it over. I actually used tracing paper, I guess. Tracing paper or deli paper I used. And it really helped me get this painting back on track when I had lost my way. This is another golden open. Such a lovely paint. And these, I painted these all, I think, on ungessoed paper. So the paper was very absorbent, and it causes the paint to give it a nice flat finish. I think if you do it on gessoed paper, I think the open comes out a little shinier. This was another one from the Strada Daily Challenge. Another one. The reflections of the checker in there. This is some of my favorite pottery with some onion, an onion and a lemon for the challenge. Oh, and you're allowed to work on, when you're doing the Strada Challenge, you can work on a painting for more than one day. So this is Strada Challenge days 14, 15, and 16. So like one day I did the painting, and one day I did the block in, and the final day I finished up the painting. I struggled more with energy levels this year. Usually I would just do a painting a day, but I picked more complicated paintings this year. And I was really struggling with energy levels in January. So I was really glad that they let you do that they let you work on one piece. So this was January 18th and 19th. I worked on this over 2 days. This was a sketch for the Strada Easel Challenge. I didn't date this one. This is a favorite little statue that I inherited from my grandma. She collected elephants, and that was Strada Easel Challenge. It says 122. And this was, is this pastel? This must have been pastel that I'm not sure what that is. Kind of looks like pastel. It might have been pastel that I used Gamsol on, or walnut oil with. Interesting. I should take better notes on what I'm doing. Yeah, I guess it must have been pastel because I can scratch it off a little. This was pastel. And this was day 25 and 26 of the Strada Challenge. This is my little neti pot salt container. We keep our salt in for our neti pot. And this was day 27 and 28, so it's winding down. These are my favorite geranium plants, and I love the pots that they're in. I actually repainted this one, just a few days ago. Posted it on Instagram. These were little juncos that come to the bird feeder, and they were sitting out there. So I sketched them and then did a quick watercolor of them. And I kind of like, I haven't worked with watercolor for a long time. I used to work with it a lot, but I was pleased with how this came out after not working with watercolor for so long. So this was the January 29th. You can tell I was losing steam, losing energy. This was day 30. Just did this was from my lemon tree. There was a lemon on my lemon tree that I pulled and painted. And this was day 31, the last day. This is a little tiny statue that I don't know where it came from originally, but it's been in my family ever since I can remember. So that was that's what I painted for the last day. This is gouache. This is just an abstract mixed media piece. There's all kinds of stuff on here. I think I was experimenting with how far you could push different things, like what you could layer on top of like neo color and different colored pencils and pens. This was another abstract where I sort of did the same thing, just kind of testing out all kinds of materials. This was a master study after Edward Munch, and this was in Sennelier Pastels, and it's really interesting. If you saw the video, on the next few pages, I did a video where I used the Sennelier fixative on all these pastels, these different brands of pastels, and just a short, and then I let it dry for a few days, and then I put the sketchbook away after I made the video. Well, just a short time ago, somebody posted in one of the art groups that I belong to on Facebook, and they said, I'm getting all these brown spots on my pastel paintings, even though they're fixed. And they're like, has anybody else gotten that? And I thought, that's interesting, because I wasn't getting that. But then when I opened this book up to look to show you guys today, it's covered with these little specks. So I don't know if that's sitting on top of the fixative, but both pages are fixed. So apparently, anyways, what I've discovered from this, it happened on all of these. I'm sad it happened on this one because I really liked this pastel painting, but that I wish I could add to that video that I did on YouTube about the Sennelier fixative, is that in a sketchbook situation, at least for me, I put a lot of coats on these. It didn't work. The stuff is going from both pages. And if you look, I didn't do a whole lot of extra drawing in here, so I don't know. But yeah, I think I need to put deli paper in between these pages to protect them, because they're all spotted up now if I do pastel in a sketchbook again. And this one doesn't have it, and it doesn't have a painting. See, it did it over here, but it didn't have a painting to go back on it there. But this, let's see, this one was Sennelier. This one is that spot in the woods that I told you about. This was Sennelier. And this one was, I didn't write down what brand this was. So maybe this was Sennelier too. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed this flip through, and I will edit this video of this one I did, and I'm not sure when I will post it because next week I think is going to be the unboxing I mentioned earlier, but I will get this up at some point. Maybe I'll even do a midweek video that includes the flip through on this one. But I hope you enjoyed today's flip through, and I will see you in the next video. Take care. Have a really great week.